something that takes time. I'm a man. I'm 50 years old. I'm older than you by 4 years, and
Hmm.
it takes a time to really grow and become an adult. And being a man is one thing, but I know one thing aspect of it, there's always going to be an issue about performance enhancers use and everything else. But the fact is, it's about sticking to a plan, training, staying to a regimen, dieting, recovery. Like one thing about the women's side of bodybuilding, there's also the expense of it. Now, if you speak about saying the men cost a little more to compete because they need more supplements, they eat more food, but you ladies, it costs you just as much, and if not more, because you have to bring a presentation, both feminine presentation, both with amount of muscle, the cost of going to the show, especially still amateur. Your suits that's right there, your hair, your makeup. Guys got to put on a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts and just put on tan. That's it. You have to come on the stage with a very pleasing presentation, not just with your physique, but also everything else.
Yes. Which is why, I mean, out of the shows I've been to, I think my daughter's only seen one of them. A lot of the shows, especially the two national shows, I've gone alone because I can't afford to bring anybody else because it's expensive. I can't fly everybody with me to T-Neck. And like you said, it's the hair, it's the makeup. Plus, on that day, I'm sure I could probably do my own hair and makeup, but I am just trying to focus on the show. I'd rather pay them to do that. And you're paying for tan, and there's a lot of expense. It's an expensive sport. But I'm glad people on the outside don't understand. They don't understand the cost and they don't understand the look. Because I would say maybe 5, 6 years ago, me as a spectator looking at bodybuilding, I'm seeing a woman in bikini or wellness do a rear pose. I'd be like, oh my God, what is she doing? And that is to be in bodybuilding, you have to be comfortable with your body. And I was never like that before, and I'm comfortable now. And a lot of times I'll post my stories where I'm lifting and working out, and sometimes I'll post a story where it's just a mess, where I'm just whatever feeling myself, and that because I'm comfortable with who I am. So it's not for
Well,
everybody, but it doesn't have to be.
that's the thing. You have to be comfortable with yourself because this is one
Yes.
thing. When we, like I said, when we go to the shows, like I'm hoping to try to go to a show this summer if I can. I gotta get financially to take care. I got a car, I gotta get a shop, and and we go to shows. We see you on the stage, and we see these bodies, ripped conditions, tan, and just the lights are shining on you, but we don't understand what it took you to get there. The
Yes.
dedication, the discipline, the work. Sometimes you're angry, you're dehydrated, you're tired. You still got to do your poses, and that's the work you put in. We don't see that part. We only see what's in front of us then and now on the stage. Here from my man, shout out to my man. Lawrence says, "Hey, age is a blessing. Let you know how far you come on your journey and continue on your journey. A true, beautiful, regardless, every day you walk the face of this earth. Keep on striving all the way." Thank you, Lawrence. Also, we have here a comment from my man, KL. He says, "What's the heaviest you deadlift or do you squats in powerlifting?" So, what's the,
Deadlift, my heaviest is 425. I probably did that back in September. I don't do a lot of deadlifts lately because deadlifts are taxing. If I do full deadlifts, I'm exhausted for like 2, 3 days after. I'll do a rack pull all day. I love rack pulls. They're probably one of my favorite exercises, a great way to strengthen back. I could do that all day. I think I did a rack pull last week where it was like 585 for a set of three. So I love rack pulls. Squats, I'm still working on because I got some knee issues. So when I do squats, I do a lot of box squats or some sort of pause squat. So my squats are definitely not the prettiest, but I get them done.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, I used to do squats, and I tell you, I was like doing like 550. Now I got bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Hmm.
because I'm getting older now. I can't move like I used to, you
Hmm.
know. But yeah, everybody finds the things that works best. And like, I know everybody has a particular exercise. What's your favorite exercise when you're working out?
That's rack pulls. Definitely back day is my favorite day, and I kind of relegated it to one day, probably before Universal. Might be 2 days, maybe 2.5, but Tuesdays are my back days, and those are my days that I just shine. Not only because I'm able to lift a lot, my back, it feels good, and probably rack pulls are my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. I know everybody has their different favorites, especially working
Yes.
on the back, especially when you're in division like figure or physique, they want that nice fullness, they want that nice
Hmm.
density, especially you want a particular look depending on what division you're working in. It's just like I
Right.
said, you look at it now how it's so easy to cross over because every of you ladies have double dip at shows like, did physique and figure, did women's bodybuilding and physique. I mean, even if you were a lady who did figure and wellness because it's just particularly what you
Hmm.
want to bring and what you want to present to the judges.
Yes.
Here, do we have here from my man KL shot to him? He says, "Do you have someone in the division do you admire? Is there anybody that you follow that you're a fan of?"
Um, in figure, I mean, obviously, Sydney Gillen is the standard. But as far as women's physique, I mean, I definitely like Veronica. Like her look. I like that she's lean, um, not necessarily overly huge. Um, Marika Jones, I like her physique. Natalia, she definitely seems like she has a wide back. So yeah, there are a few people that I look up to. I'm like, wow, I would love to look like that eventually. It's not gonna happen overnight, and I'm fine with that. This is a
Yeah, I
marathon,
know.
not a sprint.
Yeah, often too is bodybuilding is about taking time to work on your thing,
Yes.
brain conditioning.
Hmm.
It's tough. Like I said, I've been following sport for a long time, and I'm a fan of the bodybuilding. Been always been. I remember growing up watching. Remember when bodybuilding be on television? You can watch like people like Corey Everson, Carla Dunlap, Linda Murray, Lord Craval, Vicky Gates. Some of those were my favorites. And people like one lady I got the pleasure of meeting a while back, Roshana Boswell. She was down here
Okay.
in North Carolina. She was doing a little seminar, and I was there because one lady I met, Alina Popa. One lady, if you guys know, I'm a fan of. I always like to bring this out because as my other guy like says, you ever good at something, never do for free. And this is a payment for me. A friend of mine got me this, and I always want to show this off because it tells me how much I appreciate people, you know, support me and my content. This is the issue of muscular development. This is my girlfriend on the cover, and a while back, a friend of mine, her name is Eunice Kitchen. She runs her own company, Bad Rap. They do
Hmm.
clothing, stuff like that. I seen them if you want to check it out. And this is what motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing, even though where sometimes I get frustrated, I get tired. I think, what I'm doing this for? Just do it for myself. I shouldn't. Who cares? But with someone like the champ, 5-time Miss Olympia, 4-time Rise Phoenix champion,
Hmm.
signs
Yes.
and autographs, told me she loves and
Oh wow.
appreciates my support. This keeps me
Okay.
going. Where I should
Okay.
just say, you know what, it just keeps me going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So now, what's the plan? This is off season. Are you thinking about competing next year?
I am not sure at this point, and I'm okay with that. I haven't made any concrete decisions. I am enjoying off season. I'm at a comfortable weight. I am eating heavy, and I'm in a good space physically and mentally. So, haven't decided if I'm going to go into prep, attempt a show this year, maybe wait till next year. There's some, I guess, conversation and things that kind of need to be decided first, but I'm okay with not right now because prep is very stressful. As soon as I get into prep, then I'm instantly stressed. I'm worried about cardio and food and cost of flight and childcare and all those things. And I haven't really decided yet what my next move is going to be officially. And I'm good with that.
Well, like you said earlier, it's not a race; it's a marathon. And you
Hmm.
want to take that time to work on yourself, to build yourself, to take the process, to see the landscape of things before you get into it, and just enjoy
Yes.
life. Just wasn't that long ago. We just had the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I know some ladies talk about how sometimes they be in prep, especially like you have holiday events. You can't like go eat that. Like you're in Texas, and that is a lot of barbecues and stuff like that going on, and you got to bring your own Tupperware, and you got a Tenio.
Mhm.
And most definitely, Tino is not going to eat asparagus, dry rice, and chicken.
Not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. So yeah, I'm not really sure at this point. I mean, it's still early. Who knows? I may change my mind and say, why not? Let's try again this year. But at this point, it's just too early to call it. Because I mean, I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but I just one of these people that leans out fast. So it's one of those things that I just need to enjoy this off season, enjoy this time now, and it's not really time to start that prep. So we'll figure it out later on.
So you're not regionally you're not nationally qualified this year. So you have to do a
Um,
regional, right? Or are you nationally qualified?
I believe so because I got third in the open class at University. I think you have to be in the top five to qualify again to be eligible. So since I was in the top five by getting third, then I believe that I am eligible to compete again if those
Well,
rules are correct.
here just something
Oh no.
you can talk with your coach. As you
Yes.
know, Nationals in Texas. You don't have to
Oh,
go
that
too
that
far.
yeah, and I may lean more toward the master side. It's just
Or like go to Cali,
either that or maybe one of the Gary Udit shows. I'm not too sure yet. I did actually attend Nationals in Dallas this year just because it wasn't too bad of a drive, but it was good to see in person because you definitely got a mix of folks, and especially amongst the ladies in that women's physique last class. It was a mix of like probably the C and D class, so I guess that's like 5'5" on up, and you had women that had great size to women that were extremely lean and conditioned. So it was an amazing class to see.
Yeah, I interviewed some ladies who got their who competed in nationals. One lady,
Yeah.
Natalie Miller, she got both her pro cards in women's bodybuilding and physique.
Okay. Hmm.
Diana Perez, who also turned pro in women's physique, and also competed in women's bodybuilding. And a
Hmm.
young lady, Roxanne, she turned pro in figure. And I think, yeah, I can understand it when you feel like you don't want to, test yourself against some of these much younger competitors. But you got to think about Natalie's actually 41 years old. But I think that's why I think a lot of competitors want to do the Masters because you feel more comfortable competing with somebody with equal footing. Like one lady I interviewed who's also about your height. Her name is Samantha Ray. Shout out to Samantha. She
Okay,
has,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, she's like tall, long shoulders.
Yes.
Actually, she's going to do figure and did physique, but then they talked her into doing women's bodybuilding, and she had to learn the poses that day. And then she won her pro card in that division.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, whichever you want to do, like I said, you and your coach, whatever plan you got. Like I said again, I think you only got a year for your national qualification. You have to get requalified. That's the thing. Sometimes that's what some players
Okay.
avoid want to do because
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, because they only give you that year, and once that year's up,
Okay.
do another regional, and
Ah.
So I often ask you ladies this question, and
Hmm.
this particular question, especially come for a thing.
Okay.
Tell me, tell me that, Nikki. Tell
Okay.
me, what was that thing that you wanted the most right after that show? After months of prep, you're starving, you're hydrated, you're hungry. What's that thing that you desired the most? Share with me.
Simple burger and fries. Five Guys. Either Five Guys or Shake Shack. And at Universe, I was able to DoorDash my Five Guys, so I was content. I DoorDash Five Guys, burger, fries, and chocolate shake. Then I think I DoorDashed a slice of raspberry cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. That's all I needed. I didn't want anything else.
Well, that's it. That's a typical bodybuilder's choice, especially after a
Hmm.
show. Fries and burgers, pizza, some sweet, most definitely. The weirdest one I often have heard is like sushi. Like this is my thing.
I don't know about
I
that.
grew up poor, but I never been that poor to eat cold raw fish. So that's just me. But
I mean, I like sushi. I don't know if I would crave it as my post-show meal. Like, I want something greasy and fattening and buttery, and I need all that.
you're talking about me, huh? But yeah, everybody has their taste. Everybody has the things that they like. And the next thing is
Hmm.
that bodybuilding, there's a lot of things to it to understand. The factors to the consistency, the training, the dieting, the expense. This sport can be mentally, physically, emotionally, financially draining, spiritually, because, you
Hmm.
know, you're going out there and you are pushing your body to the limit, and to try to win a pro card, you got paid every year. And then his thing is, I talk about this I do a podcast on Monday. We talk about how there's not a lot of benefits financially wise as a bodybuilder. I mean, you're an amateur, and it costs you. You have to pay. You'll probably do two divisions. You might do physique, you might do figure, and you have to pay. I think usually the price is like some shows is like $250 to $300, and but it's just one thing is it's about obtaining something that you want, a goal to be an IB pro, step on the stage. I know ladies who competed 20 years before they got their pro cards. Some ladies have been phenoms. I interviewed a young lady a while back who made her pro debut. No, actually, she made her bodybuilding debut and then just months later turned pro.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, like I said, this sport is very, like when I used to remember as a kid, used to catch it on television. But
Mhm.
now it's other than maybe online on social media, it's kind of sad that you can watch poker and cornhole, but you don't see bodybuilding.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's all pay per view, and yeah, it should be more accessible to the people who want to see it.
yeah. Like, what would you like to see change in bodybuilding if you could see it?
Definitely more attention to the women, and I mean, of course, everybody wants to be wellness. Wellness is beautiful. To have that shape, that's awesome. But a little bit more attention paid to some of the other divisions, the women's bodybuilding, definitely women's physique and figure, because we're here and there's still a lot of numbers. And I mean, like I said, fit model's great, but we want to see attention paid to the rest of us as well.
Yeah, that's my fear about the fit model division. Once it gets to the pro level, it's going to take away attention from figure and physique and women's bodybuilding. Women's bodybuilding, like I said, I've been a fan of it a long time. It was almost on the out because they got
Mhm,
kicked out of Olympia, got kicked out of the Arnold Classic. Fewer promoters. Like there was going to have women's bodybuilding at Texas Pro, and I was thinking about going there because my niece lives in Atlanta. I was thinking about going to Atlanta Pro because I can
mhm,
stay with her, save me costs of a motel, and I get tickets there. And then I said, you know what, Texas is going to have the women's bodybuilding. Maybe I might want to go there. But now I lost interest in that. I like I said, I'm a fan of women's bodybuilding. I would love to see because it's not. It's been so many ladies from that part of the world, like Vicky Gates, who I mentioned, Mela Ash, Ashley Jones is in Texas.
mhm,
It's become a growing mecca for bodybuilding. You have California, was back in the day. Florida's pretty big in it, and also you have Texas. Even there's a Chicago Pro, and they do a show. I don't know, maybe like say some of you might not be interested in it. They don't do um physique, but it's called Miss International. It used to be Miss International used to be Olympic qualifier for women's bodybuilding, but
mhm,
now Jake Wood, excuse me, Nikki, I got to do this. Yo, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. Shout out to Jake Wood. He's the man saying women's bodybuilding. It's a pro qualifier
mhm,
for women's bodybuilding. I know a couple ladies who competed in it. You have to just win in your class, and if you win overall, get a shot to go to the Rising Phoenix, which is
mhm.
one of the few. It's the only standalone women's show where you don't have to
Yeah.
share the stage with no banana hammocks, no board shorts. It's just you ladies.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Something to think about. Like I said, you talk with the coach. So, but one thing is to ask: the same cost expense of being bodybuilding. Do you have any sponsors, or everything's on your shoulders?
No sponsors. I think a couple people have reached out to me, but I'm just not there yet. I figure I want to wait till I kind of establish myself a little bit more, maybe become that want to be sponsored. Plus,
Yeah,
there's such a commitment. If I feel like if some clothing company wants to sponsor me, then I have to wear their stuff and I have to buy all their clothes. I'm cheap. I'm getting outfits off of Amazon and wearing that. It's not that deep.
yeah. I gotta be cheap too because, like I said, as a big guy, it's hard for me to find things decent for me because I'm kind of a big dude. But yeah, I think sponsorship does help, especially if you're a pro or amateur. Not so many people get lucky, especially when you become an IB pro to get an opportunity to use, unless you're like the top level competitors, Olympia level competitors. But it does help. Cost was expensive of travel and doing the shows. Your suits right there is alone, the hair and makeup, everything that's involved for y'all ladies. I said again, it does cost your ladies a lot more when y'all compete compared to the men when doing their off season. Because guys, like I said, they got to wear banana hammocks and board shorts, and that's it. And tan, and that's it. But if I could do this, and I would love to do this, if I could sponsor a competitor, if I had the means and way, I would love to. But like I said, Nikki, you gotta be careful. Some guys out there saying like, "Hey, Nikki, you're tall, drink of water."
Mhm.
So if I sponsor you, no, 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 we don't want that. That's just not.
No.
No, no, no. Have some decorum, some common sense. Approach
Hmm.
this lady like, Miss Wallace. We are interested in you and your story of how you got into bodybuilding. We want to help inspire any competitor who gets into the sport. So we have a product. You don't need but so much from you. Just we take care of anything you need, and also your growth, and see you become the top level competitor in your sport. All I want for you is just to let you know that we are supporting you, stand by you, and if this product that makes you feel like you can use it in your process, please go ahead. Let us know if you're interested in being part of our program.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm good at words. Yeah, sometimes
I know. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
That's
been
why
doing
I'm
it
quiet. I
for
was like,
I've
sounds
been doing it for a
familiar.
while. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while now, sweetheart. I know how to
Hmm.
feel. You said like one of my jobs. I used to work with women a lot. I used to work in I had a couple of jobs. I worked in gas station. I work at textiles. I used to work in a meat packing process. I worked in a strip club. So you get to know what you pay attention when women talk to you to tell you when they feel comfortable with you. They'll tell you things that most people don't want to hear or don't pay attention to. You just got to be willing to listen. And that's why I enjoy doing these interviews, ladies. I'm willing to listen. Also, give my feedback. Sometimes, as men, we want to help any way we can, but understand
Hmm.
sometimes we're not going to solve any solutions.
Great.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, yeah, well, so we're not going to hold Nikki too much longer. We do appreciate time she's given us here. This is the thing about this sport. There's a lot to this that people need to understand, and people who are the outside looking in who make comments who can be offensive, but also you might have the one side where it's these guys saying she's trying to be man and she's tall, yeah, yeah, yeah. And you have the other guys saying she got a lot of muscle. I get excited about her. But here's the thing: is we want people genuine interest in these men and women. Even though hey, it may not be the '80s, but I'm down with the ladies. But really get to understand what it is about being a bodybuilder. Most people they just basically go with the assumption about the steroid use and all of that and yada yada, but that's only a small factor. There's more to it. The diet, consistency, rest, recover. Try to find time. And do you what you do for a living?
I'm a supervisor at a plant.
Oh, you're a plant supervisor.
Yep.
I'm calm. Be calm. There's some supervisors. I had some supervisors that didn't like too much. There was some I were pretty cool with, but others I didn't like too much. I mean, I
Hmm.
just, yeah. I one time I mean, so mad I had to walk out of my job. But I
Hmm.
understand that you got to find time to work, to take care of a child, and to do this sport that's which some people see as a passion because it's not as mainstream. You know, like I said again, bodybuilding used to be on television. You don't see it much anymore. I mean, especially for y'all women, there's a lot of push. I just interviewed a lady this afternoon. She told me that they dropped figure from the Legion Sports Festival and women's physique from that show. Also, with the classes doesn't have any of the three women's bodybuilding or female bodybuilding divisions, women's bodybuilding, figure, or physique. And I know it's about trying to find a division that works. Everybody likes wellness because it's very pleasing, but not everybody can be a wellness competitor, especially if you're very tall. It takes a lot more to put on that size, especially around the
Hmm.
glutes and the legs. So, folks, we do appreciate Nikki's time with us, and we wish her the best of luck. Um, and hopefully, we may see her finally come IB Pro. This is a question I want to ask you. What would you want out of for yourself out of bodybuilding as a whole?
Overall, to improve my physique, be proud of my physique and proud of my body, whether I win that pro card or not, and finish my story and accomplish my goal. So I'm still in transition. So, I mean, I'd love to be a bigger inspiration, for women, especially women who came from being, obese or had weight loss surgery. But my book is still being written. Maybe once that chapter's closed, I would love to inspire people in whatever way. But